The door swung open, and the chaos hit me like a blast wave, screams echoing off the walls, toys exploding across the living room floor, and two 5-year-old boys locked in a full-on brawl over a remote control car. My brother Marcus stood there, tie askew, looking like he'd been through a marathon negotiation in court, which he probably had. "Elena, thank Christ you're here," he muttered, pulling me inside his upscale Chicago suburb home. The air smelled of spilled juice and desperation. Behind him, Sophia glided down the stairs in her yoga pants and cashmere sweater, phone in one hand, green smoothie in the other. She eyed me with that familiar smirk, the one she'd worn at our last family barbecue when she'd leaned in close and whispered, "Darling, some women just aren't cut out for motherhood. Too tough. Too alone."
Now,
Here I was, Elena Vargas, 38, fresh off my last army deployment, stepping into the minefield of their family life because their fourth nanny in 2 months had just stormed out, muttering about demon children. I didn't flinch. 20 years in the service had drilled into me how to assess a situation fast, identify the threats, establish order, protect the vulnerable. The twins, Lucas and Leo, froze mid-wrestle when they saw me, their identical faces smeared with what looked like yogurt and marker ink. Sophia laughed. A sharp, brittle sound. Good luck taming them. Soldier girl. They need a mother's touch, not boot camp. She grabbed her keys and headed for the door. Pilates class, then drinks with the girls. Don't burn the house down. Marcus shot me an apologetic glance before vanishing into his home office, leaving me alone with the boys. They watched me warily, like cornered recruits testing a new sergeant. I knelt to their level, voice steady but warm. At ease. "Gentlemen, I'm Elena, and we're going to turn this into headquarters." Their eyes widened, no yelling, no threats, just calm authority. Lucas tilted his head. "Like in the army movies Daddy watches?" I nodded.
exactly.
"First mission, secure the perimeter. That means picking up these toys before they trip us up." To my surprise, they jumped to it, giggling as they sorted blocks into piles like stacking ammo crates. By the time Sophia returned hours later, the room was spotless. Dinner was simmering on the stove, simple pasta with veggies I'd thrown together, and the boys were drawing maps of imaginary battles instead of destroying the furniture. She paused in the doorway, her perfect blowout slightly wilted. "What did you drug them with?" I shrugged. "Routine and respect. Kids crave structure. It's like a safety net." That first night set the tone. Marcus emerged from his office long enough to eat with us, but Sophia hovered like a storm cloud, critiquing every bite the boys took. "They're too quiet now. You're stifling their creativity." I bit back a retort, focusing on Lucas and Leo, who were already calling me Sergeant Ant with wide grins. As I tucked them in, Leo whispered, "You don't yell like Mommy does." My heart twisted. I'd heard the stories from Marcus, Sophia's endless social calendar, her impatience with the mess of motherhood, the way she'd snap when the boys acted out. But seeing it firsthand, it was like watching a slow-motion disaster. Over the next days, I wove military precision into their world without making it rigid. Wake up at 0700, rise and shine. Team, weather check. Lucas would scamper to the window. Cloudy. Sergeant. Breakfast became a briefing. Eggs for energy, fruit for fuel. We turned chores into operations, folding laundry like packing parachutes, bath time like decontamination. The boys ate it up, their meltdowns fading as they gained a sense of control. Marcus noticed too, lingering longer at meals, even joining our evening debriefs, where we'd share the day's highs and lows. "You're a natural, Elena," he said one night, while Sophia was out at another event. Better than we ever were. Sophia,
Though,
simmered with resentment. She'd breeze in late, expecting hugs that the boys now gave hesitantly, their eyes flicking to me for reassurance. One afternoon, as I taught them to make paper boats for a naval exercise in the bathtub, she exploded. This is ridiculous. They're boys, not little cadets. You'll turn them into emotionless robots. Just like you. The words hung heavy, echoing her barbs from years past about my barren life. My choice of career over family. The boys went still. Boats forgotten. I sent them upstairs with a calm order. Hold position. I'll join you shortly. Alone with her, I kept my voice level. They're thriving. Sophia. No fights. No tears. Maybe try joining us instead of judging. She stormed off, slamming doors. But I saw the crack in her facade, the fear that I was succeeding where she failed. That evening, after the boys were asleep, Marcus confessed over coffee. She's been like this since the twins were born. Postpartum hit hard, but she refused therapy. Pushed it all onto nannies. Onto me. I buried myself in work to avoid the fights. I nodded, the pieces clicking. You both need help. But the boys can't wait. He looked broken. Stay longer? Just until we stabilize. I agreed. But inside, a plan formed. I'd start logging it all, the times Sophia missed bedtime. Her sharp words that made the boys flinch. The way Marcus enabled it by disappearing. Not for revenge, but protection. These kids deserved better than being collateral in their parents' war. Weeks blurred into a rhythm. The boys blossomed. Lucas's stutter vanished during our story times, where I'd spin tales of real missions, sanitized for innocence, rescuing villagers from floods, building bridges in war-torn towns. Were you brave? Leo would ask, eyes wide. Brave is doing what's right. Even when it's scary, I'd reply, hugging them close. They started saluting me playfully, calling me Sergeant Mom, in whispers that melted my heart. Sophia's absences grew. She'd vanish for self-care weekends, leaving Marcus overwhelmed. One night, Lucas woke screaming from a nightmare. Mommy's yelling again. I held him as he sobbed about parents fighting. Everyone leaving. I'm not going anywhere, I promised, rocking him until dawn. The tipping point came during a family dinner I'd insisted on. Sophia arrived tipsy from brunch, criticizing the boys' table manners. When Leo spilled milk, she snapped, God, why are you so clumsy? No wonder nannies quit. He burst into tears. I stepped in, scooping him up. Accidents happen. We clean up and move on. She whirled on me. You think you're so perfect? The Barren vet playing mommy because she'll never have her own kids. The room froze. Marcus finally spoke. Enough, Sophia. But the damage was done. The boys clung to me, whispering, don't leave, Sergeant. That night, I called my old army buddy, now a family lawyer in the city. Jenna, it's Elena. I need advice on custody. It's bad here. As I drove home to grab more clothes, resolve hardened in my chest. I wasn't here for glory or payback. I was here for two boys who'd chosen me as their anchor in the storm. And I'd fight like hell to keep them safe. The phone rang at 3:15 a.m., shattering the quiet of my temporary room in Marcus's guest suite. His voice was raw, edged with panic. Elena, get here quick. Sophia's losing it. The boys are terrified. I was in my car within minutes, racing through the empty Chicago streets to their house, heart pounding like it did before a high-stakes op. Lights blazed from every window when I arrived, and the screams carried into the night. Inside, it was pandemonium. Overturned lamps, scattered papers, Sophia hurling accusations at Marcus while the twins cowered behind the couch, hands over their ears. "You never see me," she shrieked, flinging a vase that shattered against the wall. Shards flew like shrapnel. "Always work. Always the firm. I'm drowning here." Marcus stood frozen, pleading, "Soph. Please. The kids." But she was beyond reason, wine bottle in hand, eyes wild. I moved instinctively, shielding the boys. "Lucas. Leo, evacuate to upstairs base."
Now.
They scrambled up, grabbing each other's hands, trusting me in the chaos. Sophia spotted me then, her fury redirecting. "You, the childless wonder who thinks she can waltz in and fix everything. You've poisoned them against me." I kept my cool, voice low and firm.
This isn't about me.
"It's about them. You're scaring your sons." She laughed maniacally, then collapsed into sobs. Marcus guided her to the bedroom, murmuring apologies, while I headed upstairs. The boys were under Leo's bed, trembling. "Is Mommy broken?" Lucas whispered. I coaxed them out, wrapping them in blankets. "She's hurting inside, but that's no excuse. You're safe with me." We huddled together, me humming an old army cadence-turned lullaby until their breathing evened out. Downstairs, Marcus sat amid the wreckage, head in hands. "She's leaving. Says she needs space. Booked a flight to Miami for a reset with friends." He looked up, defeated. "What do I do? Elena? I'm a stranger to my own kids." "You step up," I said bluntly. "Be present. I'll help. But this can't continue." He nodded. And over the next days, with Sophia gone, the house exhaled. No more eggshells to walk on. Marcus cut back hours at the firm, joining our routines, morning briefings over oatmeal, afternoon missions to the park. The boys warmed to him slowly, testing boundaries.
"Daddy.
Play trucks?" Leo asked one evening. Marcus dropped everything, getting on the floor despite his suit. I captured it all discreetly. Photos of genuine smiles, notes on improved sleep, teacher reports praising their focus. But I also documented the shadows, Leo's bedwetting after Sophia's calls, Lucas's drawings of stormy houses with figures standing apart. Sophia texted sporadically from Miami, promises of return laced with excuses. "Miss my babies, back soon," but soon stretched into weeks. The boys asked less about her, finding stability in our unit. One night, during story time, Lucas confessed, "Mommy says you're not real family 'cause you can't have babies." I paused, the old wound stinging. Family isn't just blood or babies. It's who shows up every day. They nodded solemnly. "You're Sergeant Mom," Leo declared. "You show up best." Jenna, my lawyer friend, reviewed my logs over coffee. "This shows emotional neglect." Elena, pattern of abandonment. "If it comes to court, you've got a shot at guardianship." I hesitated. "I'm not trying to steal them." She squeezed my hand. "You're protecting them. That's different." Back home, Marcus shared Sophia's emails, rants about me brainwashing the boys, threats to fight for custody. "She's consulting lawyers," he said. "Claims I'm absent. You're unstable from deployments." Anger flared, but I channeled it. "Then we build our case. Show the court what's best for them." We amped up the positives. Family therapy sessions where Marcus owned his absences. The boys voicing fears of being too much. I led by example, sharing my own vulnerabilities, nights when PTSD crept in, but how routine kept me grounded. The boys thrived, their laughter filling the house like sunlight after rain. Sophia returned unannounced one weekend, tan and composed. expecting open arms. The boys hid behind me.
Hi.
Mommy, Lucas mumbled. She knelt, arms out. Come give hugs. I've missed you. But Leo shook his head. You left. Sergeant says trust is like a bridge. You gotta build it strong. Her face crumpled, but she recovered with a forced smile. Well, I'm here now. The visit devolved quickly. She tried playing, but snapped when they resisted her games, preferring our structured fun. This is your fault, she hissed at me later. You've turned them into mini-soldiers. Marcus intervened. No. Soft. We've given them what they needed, consistency. She left in tears, promising to fix this. That night, the boys clung tighter at bedtime. Will she take us away?
Lucas asked.
Not if we fight smart, I assured them. We're a team. As weeks turned to months, Sophia's presence faded to sporadic visits, each more strained. Marcus filed for separation, citing irreconcilable differences. I applied for temporary guardianship. My evidence stack growing, voicemails of her cancellations, photos of the boys' progress. One evening, Leo drew a family portrait, me, Marcus, and them in the center, Sophia off to the side. She's part of us, but not the main part, he explained. It broke my heart, but affirmed our path. The preliminary hearing loomed. Jenna prepped us. Focus on the kids' well-being. Sophia's lawyer painted me as an interloper, a traumatized vet compensating for infertility. But our side countered with facts, improved grades. No more outbursts. Therapist endorsements. The judge, a no-nonsense woman named Reyes, interviewed the boys privately. We want Sergeant Mom and Daddy, Lucas said later. She makes us feel brave. Post-hearing, Sophia cornered me in the hall. You win this round, but I'll fight for my boys. Her eyes held desperation, not malice. Then fight for them. Not against us, I replied. Driving home, the boys chattered about courtroom adventures. Marcus glanced at me. Think she'll change? I sighed. People change when they hit rock bottom. Question is, will she climb out? That night, as I patrolled for monsters under beds, Leo whispered, You're our real mom now. Right? I kissed his forehead. I'm whatever you need me to be. Resolve burned brighter. I'd shield them from the storm, no matter the cost. The courtroom air was thick with tension, like the hush before a raid. Judge Reyes peered over her glasses at the assembled parties. Me, Marcus, our lawyer Jenna, and across the aisle, Sophia with her high-powered attorney, looking polished but brittle in her tailored suit. This was the main custody hearing, 3 months into our fragile peace. The boys waited outside with a court-appointed guardian, their small voices echoing faintly in the hall. Sophia's side opened strong, portraying her as the victim, a overwhelmed mother pushed aside by an overzealous aunt. Ms. Vargas has no children of her own, her lawyer intoned. She's imposing military rigidity on impressionable minds, alienating them from their biological mother. Jenna countered masterfully, presenting my logs like battlefield intel, timelines of Sophia's absences. Therapist reports on the boys' anxiety from her volatility. Photos contrasting their chaotic past with our stable present. Marcus testified next. Voice steady. I was absent too, buried in work. Elena showed me how to be a father, present, consistent. The boys are happier, healthier. Sophia took the stand, tears glistening. I love my sons. I was struggling, but I'm better now. Therapy.
Meds.
Give me a chance. But cross-examination revealed cracks, missed visits, relapsed outbursts documented in emails. Then came the boys. Judge Reyes spoke gently in chambers. Tell me about home. Lucas fidgeted. with Sergeant Mom and Daddy. We have missions and stories. No yelling. Leo added. Mommy promises but doesn't come. It makes my tummy hurt. Their words hung heavy. Raw honesty from 5-year-olds. Back in court. The judge ruled temporary joint custody to Marcus and me. Supervised visits for Sophia twice weekly. The children's stability is paramount, she declared. Prove yourselves over the next 6 months.
Outside.
Sophia approached, eyes red. Can I see them now? The boys nodded warily, allowing brief hugs. I'll do better, she whispered. Lucas patted her arm. Sergeant says everyone deserves a second chance, if they earn it. In the car, silence reigned until Leo asked, Did we say the right things? I squeezed his hand via the rear view. You said your truth. That's always right. The next months were a delicate operation. Sophia attended visits sporadically at first, supervised by a social worker in neutral parks. She'd bring toys, try engaging, but the boys remained guarded, preferring our routines. One visit, she lost patience when Leo refused a game. Why are you so difficult? The supervisor noted it. Jenna added to our file. Meanwhile, our home flourished. Marcus quit late nights, coaching the boys' soccer team. I enrolled them in art classes, blending creativity with structure, drawing battle scenes that evolved into peaceful landscapes. Nightmares lessened, laughter grew. Sophia checked into a wellness center after a breakdown, her lawyer framing it as proactive care. The boys noticed her absence. Is Mommy sick again? Lucas asked over pancakes. She's working on feeling better, Marcus explained. Like when I had the flu? Leo probed. Kinda. But for her feelings. They nodded, resilient in ways that ached my soul. We visited her once at the center, a sterile place smelling of lavender and regret. She looked fragile. Sans makeup. My babies, she murmured. The boys offered drawing stick figures of our family, her included but distant. We miss you sometimes, Leo admitted. Tears fell as she hugged them tentatively. I'm trying to be worthy. Back home, Marcus and I debriefed on the porch, beers in hand. Think she's turning a corner? He asked. Maybe. But we can't gamble on the boys. He nodded. You've given us a second chance too. I was sleepwalking through fatherhood. I smiled faintly. We're all rebuilding. Grandparents entered the fray, Sophia's parents petitioning for visitation, claiming alienation. We met the mediated, stern but sorrowful elders who'd enabled her lifestyle. We want to know our grandsons, her mother pleaded. The boys met them cautiously over lunch, warming slightly to stories of Sophia as a child. She was spirited too, her father said. Lucas tilted his head. Like us. Small bridges formed, visits scheduled if consistent. One evening, Leo's school called. He'd drawn a family tree excluding Sophia. In therapy, he confessed. She feels like a visitor, not mom. The therapist noted progress in boundaries. Sophia's text grew introspective, seeing clearly now. Thank you for keeping them safe. No demands, just gratitude. As the 6-month mark neared, evidence mounted in our favor. Glowing reports. The boys improved confidence. Sophia's visits improved too, more engaged, less volatile. But the boys confided. We like seeing her, but home is with you and Daddy. Marcus filed for full custody with me as co-guardian. Adoption on the horizon. Jenna warned. She might fight, but Sophia didn't. At a pre-hearing meeting, she signed papers for limited rights. They're better with you, she admitted, voice breaking. I wasn't ready to be the mom they needed. Relief washed over us. But victory felt hollow. That night, tucking in the boys, Lucas asked, Is Mommy gone forever?
No. Buddy.
She's stepping back so you can grow strong. You'll see her when you're ready. Leo yawned. You're our forever mom. Emotion choked me. And you're my forever troops. Marcus found me later. Paperwork in hand. We're a family now for real. I nodded, thinking of the battles won not with force, but presence. The war wasn't over. Healing lingered. But for now, 2 boys slept soundly, safe in the world we'd built. Sunlight filtered through the kitchen windows, casting warm glows on the breakfast table where Lucas and Leo battled over syrup portions for their waffles, our new Sunday tradition. 6 months had reshaped us, Marcus laughing as he refereed, me sipping coffee, feeling the weight of impending permanence. The final hearing was days away. Our adoption petition bundled with custody docs. Sophia's relinquishment had stunned everyone, but her sporadic texts showed glimmers of growth, photos from therapy retreats, notes saying, proud of how they're blooming. The boys had adapted remarkably, their questions evolving from fear to curiosity. Why did Mommy give us to you? Leo asked one afternoon during park recon. I knelt on the grass. She didn't give you away. She realized we could give you the steady home you need right now. Love means wanting what's best, even if it's hard. Lucas nodded thoughtfully. Like when you let us choose bedtime stories, even if they're long. Exactly that. Sophia's parents became fixtures, proving consistency with weekly visits, baking cookies, sharing old photos. Your mom was a handful too, her mother confided once. The boys warmed, calling them Gamma and Papa, weaving them into our tapestry. No alienation, just cautious inclusion. Therapy continued, unpacking layers, the boys' abandonment fears, Marcus's guilt, my own shadows from deployments, nights when echoes of loss kept me vigilant. One crisp fall day, Sophia requested an unsupervised visit. We agreed. Mediated. At a cozy cafe. She arrived early. No armor. Just jeans and a sweater. The boys approached shyly. Hi. Mommy. She hugged them gently. I've missed your smiles. They chatted about school, soccer, our missions. No snaps. No distractions. She listened, eyes soft. I'm learning to be better, she said. Lucas tested. Will you come to our game next week? She promised. And shockingly, she showed, cheering from the sidelines. No phone in sight. Post-game. In the car, Leo beamed. She was fun today. Marcus glanced at me. Progress. But caution lingered. We'd seen flares before. Jenna reviewed. Her consistency bolsters our case, shows you're not blocking her. The hearing arrived. Courtroom familiar, yet charged. Judge Reyes reviewed updates. Adoption psych evals praising our bond. School accolades. Therapist endorsements. Sophia's statement read aloud. I've accepted I can't provide the stability they deserve now. Elena and Marcus have. I request ongoing contact. At their pace. No contest. The gavel fell. Full custody granted. Adoption approved pending home study. Outside. The boys leaped into our arms. Forever.
Lucas asked.
Forever and a day, Marcus promised. Sophia waited nearby, offering congratulations. Thank you for loving them when I couldn't. Tears brimmed as she hugged the boys. See you soon? Leo nodded. If you keep showing up. Celebration was quiet. Pizza. Board games. The boys' giggles echoing. That night, as they drifted off, Lucas murmured, Sergeant Mom, did we win the war? I smiled. Wars end when peace begins. We're at peace now. Downstairs. Marcus raised a glass. To new beginnings. My phone buzzed. Sophia. Starting over here. Therapy's helping. Tell them I love them. Hope flickered. Fragile but real. Months rolled on. Adoption finalized in a simple ceremony. We became the Vargas family officially, certificates framing our journey. The boys flourished, Lucas excelling in art, Leo in sports, both secure in our love. Sophia's visits stabilized monthly outings, building trust brick by brick. Her parents hosted holidays, blending families without friction. One evening,
During story time,
Leo asked, "What if Mommy gets all better? Do we go back?"
honesty guided me.
Home is here, but families can grow. If she's ready, we make room together. He hugged me tight. "You're the best, Mom." Emotions swelled. I'd never sought motherhood, but it found me in these boys' eyes. Marcus and I reflected often. "You saved us," he'd say. "We saved each other," I'd counter. The house hummed with life, messy, joyful.
Real.
No more chaos, just the steady beat of presence. As I checked on sleeping forms, peace settled deep. This was my mission complete. Not conquest, but creation. A family forged from fractures, stronger for the mending. Word count, 812, wait. That's short. Let me expand with more emotional depth and scenes.
Wait.
Recalibrating, add a scene of daily life post-hearing. The adoption day dawned bright. Courtroom filled with supporters, Jenna, social workers, even Sophia's parents. The boys, in crisp shirts, beamed as Judge Reyes declared, "Welcome to your forever family." Cheers erupted, hugs followed. Sophia attended virtually from her new apartment, smiling through tears. "Happy for you all." Integration deepened. Joint birthdays with Sophia, where she'd share stories of their infancy. The boys listening wide-eyed. Challenges arose. Leo's occasional regression after visits, soothed with extra debriefs. But growth prevailed. Marcus stated tentatively, "Introducing someone kind." The boys approved after vetting. Reflecting alone, I journaled, from Barren soldier to Sergeant Mom. Love doesn't follow orders, it adapts. The boys taught me that. Their resilience mirrored mine, turning pain into purpose. One starry night, stargazing in the yard, Lucas pointed upward. "That's our constellation, strong and together." Leo agreed. "No more leaving." My heart full. I whispered, "No more." Years blurred the sharp edges of our battles, but the core remained, a family resilient, bound by choice as much as law. Lucas and Leo, now 8, dashed through the backyard, their laughter a soundtrack to our lives. Marcus had remarried, a gentle teacher named Mia, who slotted in seamlessly, adding warmth without disrupting our unit. I'd found civilian work as a veterans counselor, channeling my experiences to help others rebuild. Sophia had transformed too, sobriety and therapy sculpting her into someone steady. She lived nearby now, co-parenting in limited ways, school pickups, weekend outings. The boys called her Mom Sophia, distinguishing without diminishing. "She's like a bonus," Lucas said once. Trust rebuilt slowly, visits evolving from supervised to natural. One afternoon, she joined our mission day at the zoo, marveling at animals with genuine delight. "You've given them roots," she told me privately. "I gave them wings, too soon." No bitterness lingered. Forgiveness flowered in shared moments. Grandparents bridged gaps. Holidays a mosaic of traditions. Challenges persisted. Leo's therapy for lingering abandonment echoes. Lucas's questions about biology. "Why couldn't she be our mom like you?" he'd ask. "Everyone has strengths," I'd explain. "Hers is loving from afar. Mine is being here." They nodded, wise beyond years. My revenge? Not in triumph over Sophia, but in the everyday victories, the boys' confident strides, Marcus's fulfilled gaze. our home's unshakable peace. I'd proven the doubters wrong. Strength and nurture coexisted. Structure wasn't cold. It was the scaffold for love to climb. One evening, as twilight fell, the boys ambushed me with drawings, me in cape, labeled Super Sergeant Mom. For saving us, Leo said. Tears pricked. You saved me too from a life without this. Marcus watched,
smiling.
Family's what we make it. Sophia's call came unexpectedly. I'm engaged, someone patient.
Kind.
Wanted the boys to hear from me. We celebrated neutrally. The boys excited for her happiness. At her wedding, they walked her down the aisle. A poignant full circle. Proud of you, Mom, Lucas whispered. She beamed, healed in her way. Our story lingered as a quiet testament. What happens when mockery turns to necessity? When the Barren becomes the bedrock? It raises questions about motherhood's many faces. Forgiveness's limits. The ethics of stepping in. Did I overreach? Or intervene just in time? The boys' joy answered. We thrived. As I tucked them in that night, Lucas yawned. Best mom ever. Leo echoed. Forever. Kissing foreheads, I whispered. Forever.
Downstairs.
Stars twinkled outside. Peace reigned, but the moral echoed. In the ruins of one family, another rises. Whose right is it to rebuild? The hearts. Always the hearts. Reflecting deeper, nights brought flashbacks, not of war, but our early chaos. Sophia's cruelty. The boys' tears. But healing overlaid. Their first unprompted, I love you. Mom, Marcus's gratitude. Community noticed school awards. Neighbors' envy of our bond. Sophia's integration deepened. She volunteered at their school, earning respect. Co-moms, the boys joked. Ethical dilemmas arose. When Lucas asked about conception, we navigated truthfully, emphasizing love over biology. The lingering question haunted, was this justice or theft? Sophia's relinquishment voluntary, yet pressured by reality. Moral ambiguity flavored our peace. What if she'd fought harder? But the boys' security silenced doubts. Final scene. Family game night. Laughter booming. Mia fit perfectly, adding siblings on the horizon. Unit expanding, Marcus quipped. The boys cheered. In quiet moments, I'd ponder, mocked as unfit. I became essential. Revenge through redemption. What does that say about human mending? It leaves us wondering, can broken bonds truly reform? Or do new ones eclipse them? The answer lives in every hug, every shared dawn,